Hello, and good mid-morning perhaps. It's good. Right, so this is how it goes. People need to stop with the misinformation online. They need to stop with the stigma along with labelling and start applying the gospel to their life. Otherwise, people are forever, and I mean ever, going to be stuck within their worldly programmed ways, thinking that they have actually found God and His Son Jesus Christ, when in actuality, God the Father never knew them. An example of this would be online. I see some videos by people saying, stop your aging, or slow down your growing old process and all of this. Well, newsflash, it's part of the gospel, isn't it not? While some people, if not many, or the vast majority of most, want to live like children, some of us chose to grow and evolve and age like a fine wine. As you can see, wrinkles slowly beginning to show. And this is why I don't really support my children, because like I said, children nowadays are rebellious. They don't give a shit about their parents. As long as they're getting, their highs from living like a degenerate, a reprobate, it's all good. It's thumbs up, right? And ironically, they always come crawling back crying for my attention. And I don't even give them the time of day. If anything, I just throw them within the deep end and watch them swim to survive, Sometimes parents have to be cruel to be kind to their own. Because if your kids are choosing to rebel, what, are you just going to pat them on the back and reward them for that, are you? No, I don't think so. If you have a conscience along with common sense, you would know that rewarding degenerative behaviours within people equals, what is it? Self-entitlement. There you go. And what happens when a person or a child becomes too self-entitled? Their desire for wanting more 24/7 will not stop. It will never cease to come to an end. And this is why I don't support nor elevate my children that rebel against me. No matter how hard they come crawling back crying for my attention, I'm not going to give it to them. They're going to learn a valuable life lesson. That valuable life lesson being that one day, your fathers and your mothers aren't going to be here. Life is going to someday take them out physically. In other words, death is inevitable. It's catching up to us all. Whether we've accepted it, and whether we've formed peace with it, or whether we've accepted God, His Son Jesus Christ, and come to terms with the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. It's happening either way. You look at it. And us parents aren't going to be around forever. Which is why the kids that live like rebels, as you will, they always come crawling back crying. Not going to happen. We're not going to give you the help nor support. We're just going to throw you in the deep end and watch you swim your way to victory. Now, a lot of people are going to go, oh, that's cruel, that's mean, that's sadistic, you know, you're going to get judged on Judgment Day for that. And yeah, well, if that's the case, I happily accept. I don't give a shit. God knows what he's doing. And when it involves his children, when his children face him on Judgment Day, they're going to thank him for the way that he actually treats his children. See, if I had a son or a daughter, or better yet both, one of each, and the son was being a complete and utter jackass, I wouldn't only just give him the belt and buckle, along with arse whooping with the bamboo stick, but I will quite literally make his life a living hell if he stepped out of line, just to prove to him that he's no match for this org right here. Org being old ass gangster, you know, just not from the world's term. So, there it is. You know, parents nowadays need to stop coddling, you know, the children. They need to stop, like I said, I've shared so much about this, coddling children equals self-entitlement. It only contributes and fuels to their degenerative and reprobate-like ways. In other words, it doesn't diminish it, nor prevent it. It contributes. It's like I see some parents on the street, you know, that actually, in fact, praise their sons, you know, pat them on the back, reward them when they're stepping out of line. And I'm looking at that parent thinking, absolutely shocking. I can't believe what I've actually just witnessed here. Is there any wonder why your child is a self-entitled, spoiled little brat that screams, kicks and punches until he gets what he wants in life? Is there any wonder why your child displays these characteristics? Because you're coddling your child. You're not disciplining him with an arse whooping. You're not correcting his degenerative nor reprobate-like behaviours. You're rewarding that nonsense. And is there any wonder why your child is acting the way that he is? Absolutely disgusting. It is disgusting. The parenting I see in today's world is absolutely disgusting. And as God is my witness, if anyone, and I mean anyone, ever tried coddling my son that stepped out of line, I would beat them on their ass. I don't give a shit whether the police came knocking or not. I would beat them on their ass. And then I would explain to the police why I decided to take the law into my own hands, you know, and go about it the way that I did. Because rewarding degeneracy within people, like I said, only fuels their self-entitlement. It only fuels their narcissistic ways. It doesn't prevent it. It doesn't slow it down. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even kill any of this nonsense. It feeds it. And for any parent to actually reward this nonsense, you don't even have a conscience. You're not even consciously aware, you know, to what's really going on within today's society. And you ought to be ashamed of yourselves and appalled at the same time. So, once again, people, if you want to, you know, put your own information out there, at least make sure that it's aligned with the gospel and spiritual discernment is actually used. Because like I said, a lot of people choose to live like children because they're uncomfortable with the truth. They fear the unknown. And these people will never grow and evolve, nor age like a fine wine. They will forever live like children. Forever. So, quit leaning upon your own understanding. Quit attacking us oldies, as you will, that chose to take the narrow path in order to grow and evolve and age like a fine wine, rather than live like a child like everybody else, that chases after feeling and emotion, pleasure, only to be miserable after it all wears off and they're back to square one with virtually nothing to show for the wasted efforts. You need to stop attacking us oldies, man. I'm telling you now. Otherwise, we're going to fight back. And we're going to fight back so hard with sound biblical truth that back up everything we're saying. And trust me, there's going to be an absolute war between us parents that are slowly trying to get the life in check and the children that choose to live like rebellious, reprobate-like children. You see, this is why I chose to leave, or better yet, crucify that part of myself, as you will. Because children nowadays, they never learn. And like I said, you have to be cruel to be kind. Even if it means throwing your own children within, you know, the rapid storm-like lakes, and you watch them swim to victory, you know. They're going to hate you for it, to begin with. Oh, you best believe they are. But sooner or later, they're going to come back round. And they're going to thank you, as a matter of fact, for the way that you treated them. Like I said, I always throw my children within the deep end. Because it's the only way they're going to learn a valuable life lesson. That one day their biological fathers, their non-biological fathers, even mothers on whole, you know, for the mothers out there, we're not going to be here forever. And they're going to need to learn spiritual discernment in order to grow and evolve. And, you know, they need to be disciplined. They need, like I said, to be thrown in that deep end. Whether we've got blood on our hands or not, you know, we're accustomed to it. And we're more than happy to reap back, you know, spiritually, that is, for the way we treat our children, that is. But at the end of the day, like I said, sometimes you not only have to be cruel to be kind, but I guess you have to be an arsehole, you know, from their perspective, you know, when you treat them this way, you have to be an arsehole. Because I ain't coddling my kids that come up to me, that is, crying for my help, no. You're going to learn a valuable life lesson. Like I said, I'm not going to be around forever. And you're going to learn, you know, how to live life from the biblical perspective, that is. And you're going to learn to appreciate, respect, love, and welcome your fathers. You're not going to rebel against them. And you're not going to reject them either. Otherwise, we will reject you. We will abandon you after we've thrown you in the deep end. You can cry onto us all you want. Weaklings. We're not going to jump to your beck and call. We're not going to tread on eggshells, you know. We're not going to jump hoops for our children that chose to rebel against us repeatedly, thinking it was funny and thinking they were living a high life from it, only for reality to keep on hitting them in the face. No. Not going to happen. I don't care. Like I said, you're going to have to learn to live your lives for yourself and by yourself via the presence of the Lord in order to grow and evolve and age like a fine wine. And I believe wholeheartedly that, you know, some of us parents, we put ourselves in tricky positions as part of the growth and evolvement process ourselves, so that we can actually then pass on the knowledge and wisdom that we've learned from putting ourselves through whatever it is we put ourselves through, spiritually and psychologically, that is. And, you know, if the kids can learn, the younger generation even can learn from it, then, you know, it's a noble cause, right? There you go.